Hi guys, Shelly here, So Shelly Quilts. I want to show you the ruffler foot. Now the ruffler foot is the number 16 for the BERNINA, or the gathering foot is what this is. It's not the ruffler attachment, it's the gathering foot. Now it's number 16 no matter how wide the bottom is. So the one on my right is a 16 wide for the 9mm system, and the one on my left is a 16, the regular, for the 5.5mm systems. So when you buy a number 16, since they both are labeled 16, you want to be careful that you ask for and visually confirm that you're getting the wide if you have a 9mm system. The blue tape on the foot is just because when I travel, I don't want to lose them, and that identifies them as mine. So when I'm in your store or classroom, they all come back with me. So I'm going to thread the foot just by running that threaded needle through the opening where the stitch is formed so that my original thread is on the bottom. And this works by interacting with the feed dogs. So I've got a piece of fabric here that I'm going to put underneath, and I have lengthened my stitch to 5. My standard stitch, the way it comes out of the machine, is 2.5mm. I've made it really long, and then I've also increased my tension, and I've made it really tight. So I'm up to a 7 on my electronic tension on an 880. If you have a roller that you roll your tension with, you would roll it to a higher number. A higher number is more tension. So the longer the stitch and the tighter the tension, the more it's going to gather. So here we go. And watch it just come out the back side, just gathered tight. So, fun. Fun, fun, fun. How pretty is this? Look at that beautiful little gathered piece. Now if my tension was less tight, and or if my stitch length were longer, my gathers could have been not quite as intense, but I just wanted you to see how it can just gather it right up. Isn't that beautiful? So now let me show you an even cooler trick. That's a good trick, but let me show you even better. So here we go. I've got a piece of red fabric that I rolled the hem on yesterday. Get it out of the way here. So I'm going to put this with the right side up under the foot. Let me get rid of some of these tails where I made a rolled hem on it. So here we go. So this is going to start gathering, and it's under the foot, working with the feed dogs underneath. So the bottom of the foot and the feed dog make that gather. So then, watch this. Here's the cool trick. I now can take a piece of fabric. I'm going to put it right side down. So now that's right side up, right side down, so they're right sides together. And I'm going to put it in that slot. See this slot at the front? I'm just going to slip the piece in that I do not want to gather. Right there. And I'm going to hold it with the needle. So there, I've got the needle into that piece of fabric so that I can get myself situated and ready to go. Now what's going to happen is my eyes are going to watch this stitch form right here. Right in this area. That's where I'm going to be watching as I stitch. Right here. To see that those edges of the fabric are staying pretty close together, because they're going to move at different speeds. The one underneath is going to gather, the one on top is not. So I'm going to hold my hands so that I'm letting them flow at different speeds. I have one fabric in each hand, and I'm visually watching that they just meet right there. Well, here we go. Make sure it's started. see that? They're moving at 2 different speeds through the foot. And all I'm doing is watching right here and letting this flow through this hand faster than this one's flowing through this hand, but I'm just doing whatever I can to have them kind of meet at that location on the right. I'll show you what we got. Ta-da! Look at that. It attached the ruffle as I was sewing. So that red gathered and the white was smooth. And that ruffle was made and put on as I stitched. Is that not slick? Check that out. Now frankly, I've got those gathers so tight that I probably should not have them quite that tight. They'd probably be prettier, just a little bit looser. But I just wanted you to see how that gathering foot works. Now, the way I would finish this, I'm going to grab my number 10. Where have I got my number 10? I think it's here somewhere. Yep. I'm going to put on my number 10 foot right here. And I'm going to turn my tension back to normal, my stitch length back to normal, and tell the machine that I have on a number 10 foot. So that's all this tapping you hear in the background. It's a dual feed foot, so I'll engage the dual feed. I'm going to move the needle 2 or 3 positions to the left or to the right, whichever direction you're sewing. And I would just come now and put that number 10 in that groove. The number 10 has got this nice guide in the middle of it right here. So I'm just going to have that guide run in the intersection of the ruffle and the piece I'm ruffling to, and I'm top stitching. And because of that beautiful guide on the number 10 foot, it just rides in that groove perfectly. And you'll see that I have a perfect top stitch. And so then, obviously you would have thread that either matched or didn't. But look, I've been able just to put that perfect edge stitch. See, it's just a perfect size, straight as a string. Now, does that just look fun on the bottom of a towel for Christmas? Anyway, I wanted you to see the gathering foot, and then I finished with the number 10 foot. Pretty slick feet. This is Shelley with Sew Shelley Quilts.